Hello, well, it's Hank. The Hangout on Air is live. We're only 4 minutes late, which, if you knew what I just went through to get this to work, you would be very impressed with. Now, it says we have 0 viewers, but that's just definitely not true, because there's a ton of people in the chat, all tweet chatting about what's going on. So, any second now, it will actually show up in the thing, and I'll see how much lag there is. Or is it just going to pop up right in the middle of me talking? Oh yeah, it's going to pop up right in the middle of me talking. Second then. All right. So now I'm going to start all over again because you can definitely hear me. Hi, this is Hank. I paused me. Is it working? Oh.
There's Eric.
Hi.
Oh, Eric. Hey, all right.
Hi.
The team is here. The whole team is
here. Working.
My internet seems very, very, very not good. I'm just saying. Oh shoot! I'm on the wrong internet, you guys.
Don't do it.
This might. But I can't switch now because it'll break.
So do we have
I'm
to
on
restart?
my neighbor's internet.
So do we have to restart?
No, we're not gonna. We're just gonna use my neighbor's internet the whole time. He'll never know.
Until he resets his router.
That's what he gets for not putting a password on his internet.
So should I start sending that link out everywhere?
Yes, you should. There are already lots of people here.
Oh really? You were faster than I.
I put it on my channel, on Hank's channel, so people will just they appear to be understanding what I'm saying, which is excellent news. I might be a little bit gritty, so that's just going to be what it is. I'm pretty sure if I switch, it's going to break.
Yeah, you're kind of starting to break up a little bit, sadly.
And hopefully it will continue to exist.
No, it's not existing. Karen, can you hear him?
I can hear. Well, I hear you right now. Hank might have frozen.
Yeah.
Am I back? Did I come back?
Are you on yours now?
Yeah, I'm on mine now.
Yes, you're back.
Oh, good.
You still have a funny face, frozen, but you know, it's cool.
It's still not good quality after all that.
Well, at least you're not stealing internet.
Yeah, I got that going for me.
Okay, let me send this out to backers.
Okay. So we are now inviting all of our Kickstarter backers to this,
and our Twitter followers.
And our Twitter followers, and I should tweet it as well. Whoa. So this is the part of
you're a little bit more
where nothing happens because we're slow and typing.
Unbacklight myself. Oh, that's terrible. Okay. No. No, that's just in my face. I can be backlit.
All right. So now that we have begun, let's tell the story of how this began. This Wizard School project, and the idea of DFTBA games.
Sure.
So I'm going to start at VidCon 2011, maybe. I think.
That's right.
Wow.
Was it you who came up to me, or was it someone else from Weird?
It was not me. It was one of my employees.
Okay.
At this point, I did not really know who you were.
Okay. Who was he?
His name is Justin.
Okay. And he was just a fan. He came up to me and he said, I work at a game company.
Employees.
Okay. And, oh, did I just unmute something?
A little bit.
That wasn't me. And I love Evil Baby Orphanage. I love the idea of the Evil Baby Orphanage. I at the time really wanted Evil Baby Orphanage to become like a long-running comic book series about a person who abducts babies from the time stream and attempts to make the best world possible, and just has a house full of delinquents and the problems that would ensue. But when I heard this, I was like, yeah, sure, you work for a game company. Like my immediate reaction was like, everybody works for a game company. Or like, you know, obviously not, but like, you know, sort of like hedging myself a little bit because I wasn't sure that it was going to be legit, and I didn't want to get myself into saying yes to something before I knew more.
And
but,
wasn't it also like immediately after you just did a show, so you were like worn out? And
it was after a panel, so it wasn't that.
Okay.
It was post panel. I just noticed that I have a deck of Evil Baby Orphanage cards right here, and it's unopened. So
oh wow!
I don't know why.
Not a lot of it left.
Yeah. So I eventually like looked up Weird after VidCon, and I was like, oh, that's a real game company. Yeah, I would like to do that. So do you know how Evil Baby Orphanage happened internally on your end?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, he came back and he was like, you know, we actually I just opened my development studio like 4 weeks previous. So we were kind of I have like 6 employees now, and I don't know what to do with them. So let's make a game. Anyone have ideas? So Justin comes back, and I've actually been working with Justin. He's like, this is guy. But then he pitched Evil Baby Orphanage. I'm like, that sounds awesome. We should do that. So they kind of immediately got this brand new team jumping on the rules, and we put it together really quick. And I was like, you know, by this point it actually went like, oh wait, Hank's a guy. He's a guy. He knows what he's doing. So I tried desperately to get in touch with you, to absolutely no avail.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I bet you that I could get in touch with him if I started a Kickstarter. He might reach out to me. So that's what we did.
Okay.
We actually designed the game, and at that point, Gen Con is our big gaming convention. VidCon was 8 weeks previous that year. Mm-hmm. And so we designed the game, had the Kickstarter, and had it manufactured in two months before Gen Con. And the Kickstarter was the last 2 weeks before Gen Con.
Wow. So we're giving ourselves a little bit more time here now.
A little bit.
So that is how the Evil Baby Orphanage card game happened, and how Eric and I first met. But before we get any deeper into that story, why don't we introduce ourselves?
Sure.
I'll start. I'm Hank. I make videos. I write music about Harry Potter and other things. And I run several companies of various kinds. And recently decided that it would be really fun to get into the gaming world, largely because I knew Eric and
I pestered him a lot.
Yeah, and he pestered me a lot. So now let's go to Karen, because Eric has already talked a lot.
Oh, that's okay with me, because I'm Karen, and I draw lots of geeky stuff, and I'm a big nerd, and I'm responsible in this area for drawing whatever crazy thing comes out of Hank's brain, which is awesome and incredibly challenging, but really fun. So that's me.
Yeah, we've had quite a few conversations where we're like, that sounds amazing. And then we all agree. We're like, okay, Karen, do it.
It's like, Karen, I just need you to draw a guy. He's got 7 billion buttholes.
Oh, that's my favorite one. I'll go through the cards trying to figure out which one to do next, and I'll pull that one up and be like, no, I'm putting that over here.
By the way, that one did get moved to the Hank's Dirty Little Secrets expansion, by the way.
Yeah, so you can be a little more free with that. You can be a little more free with Hank's Gay Org. So yeah, I'm not sure that you want to draw 7 billion buttholes.
I'll figure it out.
A long project.
I will figure it out. But finding reference materials for some of these things is always fun on the internet.
Things not to Google.
No, God.
Just buttholes, just in general.
7 billion.
We're giving the wrong impression about this game right now.
Yeah, sorry about that. We'll get a little bit there as well.
Well, they're getting an impression about what our Skype calls tend to be.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we should also mention that we do this thing that we're doing right now, not publicly, fairly regularly, where we're talking about game development and card ideas and what the heck, how do you draw that thing, and what should we do to make our Kickstarter supporters happy, etc. So if this devolves, that's just because we're used to it devolving. And Eric, who are you?
I guess I'm also a owner of a few companies, but my main one is Weird Games that made Evil Baby Orphanage, and is where a lot of my time goes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I designed a game 8-9 years ago now, and it turned into a profession, and I've been designing games ever since. Yeah, that's pretty much the short of it.
Yeah. I'm watching a lot of people in the chat being like, they're ignoring us, nobody's looking at us. Are we even here? Do they even know that we exist? Yeah, I know you exist. If you have questions or anything related to Wizard School or games in general, or art or game design or anything like that, somebody wants to know what's behind you, Eric.
Those are my fish tanks. I can't see the chat. Why can I not see it?
I can't see the chat either.
I gave you guys a link in your email. You can click on that and you can see what everybody else sees. But make sure you mute it before.
Okay. Yeah, actually, my sort of hobby to relax is fish tanks, and actually, it's aquatic plants for the most part. So there's not that many fish. There's mostly just plants, and plants are way harder to keep alive than fish.
Oh, you're
yeah. I think all of our Skype calls are in the morning usually, so like they're turned off. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen them like lit up.
Yeah. Evil Baby Orphanage questions. What are the time machines for? They're not mentioned in the instructions. Is that true?
I don't. You know what? I haven't looked at the Evil Baby Orphanage game in long enough. They're in there.
I mean, yeah. I know how they work. Like you can have one. You play it when it comes out. It affects the game. And
it's just the card you put in front of you, and you can have one of them, and it makes your life easier.
Yeah, I feel as if I mean no one explained that to me. It must be in the instructions.
It seems like I would be a bad game designer.
If
no one buys any of my games if that's not the instructions. I shouldn't say that because that's the point of this all, after all.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But you did say that you designed that whole game, designed and manufactured that game in 2 months. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I kind of let the team do it for the most part, but I was there. I navigated the process.
Yeah. So, Karen.
What?
So me?
Yeah, I was going to ask you what your most challenging art has been so far.
I would say the one that gave me the hardest time so far was the laminator one.
Oh yeah, laminating a cat.
Yeah, well, that was my sister's idea. It was just, I think the spell was just a spell that laminates something. And I was like, what I want to do is make sure that I don't take your crazy fun ideas and just do something boring. Yeah. So I wanted to try to figure out some way to make it funny. And I remember we were sitting on a plane coming back from some convention, I think maybe Chicago, and I was brainstorming with my sister. I was like, what can be funny about a laminator? She's like, it needs to laminate something that shouldn't be laminated, like a cat. I was like, boom, that's what it is.
You could totally laminate a cat.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess is the scarier thing figuring out what to draw, or once you've figured it out, knowing that like, oh god, that's going to be a pain in the butt?
No, it's figuring out what to draw. The ideas are always the hardest. Figuring out how to draw it is difficult sometimes, but I can generally work my way around that. Some of them take longer than others, but definitely figuring out the idea. The idea is always the hardest part, definitely. And some of them are super easy, and so I kind of go back and forth between a nice easy one, and then I'll go to a challenging one, and then I'll go back to some easy ones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But Laminator, that one was a little tricky.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of doozies coming up for you too, I think.
Who, me?
Yeah, there's some difficult ones.
Did Karen do baby orphan art? No, I did not. That's
No.
the answer.
Yeah, who did the baby orphanage art?
It's a guy in the Netherlands named Melvin.
Oh.
And I've worked with him several times, but yeah, he did that quick. He did all of that art in 2 weeks.
Wow. Oh, I can't do that.
Yeah.
No pressure. I
He's
can't do
reaching into his desk.
that.
Yeah, that is crazy. And there's a lot of people talking about their Western culture papers. I'm not really sure.
I know. I'm looking at this going, wow, I'm really glad I don't have to write anything.
I sadly still can't see chat. It's just spinning.
Yeah, it's not opening for you?
Yeah. So you guys are going to have to narrate for me.
Now they're arguing about eating meat. Do you guys eat meat?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I love bacon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I do also eat meat.
I don't eat pork just because I feel real bad about it.
Mm. I have some very good friends who are vegan, and I really respect that.
Yeah.
Yes. Though definitely shop for more humane ways of, I guess. My son won't let me go to McDonald's because he's 10, and it's because he heard that they do not treat their animals very well. So we're not allowed to go to McDonald's. Not even French fries.
I can claim that I've never once had a McDonald's hamburger.
What?
It's kind of a claim to fame for me.
Where on earth did you grow up?
I grew up in Berkeley, and there's actually not a whole lot of fast food there.
No. Yeah, you grew up in Berkeley. Wow. I didn't know that about you.
Is that something I should say earlier in the conversation?
How old are you? When were you born?
When?
Yes.
78.
Okay, so not so in the time of Berkeley when Berkeley was Berkeley.
It's still Berkeley. It's just different.
Yeah. So I have in my hand right now the one of these boxes. This is the custom $250 part of the $250 pack. Custom leather card box. It does this, and then it does this, and inside here are your graduation cards and your student cards. And then in this part, there's a drawer that comes out here that has your school deck and your magic deck. And this is my playtest deck as it currently stands.
Oh, I never saw that, I don't think.
Yeah, really?
No.
Oh.
Mm.
Well, it's good. So we have our friendly octopus of terror here.
Hey, that one was fun.
That's one of my favorites.
But a lot of them just say things like activity name.
Hank hasn't done his work yet.
Hey, hey.
Oh.
This is old.
Them's fighting words.
I shouldn't talk because the game's not totally play tested or anything, so I'm not totally done myself.
True. We have a square pelican here.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
That one was a fun, easy one to draw. I like that one.
Oh, we should do more. If those are easy, you should do more mixing weird animals together.
Mixing animals is incredibly easy and fun.
Yeah, the dock skunk is another one. Like the dock skunk, yeah.
Generally, if I need like an easier one, I'll go back to one of those to do.
And fun too, I bet.
Yeah.
What's it like to just draw something and then have it look real good?
I don't know that feeling either.
You know what? It took me I've been drawing since I was 16, and I would say it's only been the last 3 years, I'm 42 now, that I am happy with 70% of what I draw.
Oh, wow.
So I've only known that feeling for a few years now, and it's partly that I'm happy with where I'm at, and it's partly that I've learned to be able to look at my art and not nitpick it to death,
right.
Which was a huge skill to be able to get.
Mm-hmm.
But there was 20 years of drawing everything and being like, I can't do this. So, yeah.
People are suggesting potential mixed animals.
I'm going to pretend I don't see that Hank, John, and Horse one. So I I like the one that the character that I just drew that I'm not sure we're supposed to talk about quite yet.
Oh no, yeah, our goal is to just give people. So instead of having a bunch of stretch goals, and this time we're giving you this, and at this point we give you this, well, we're just kind of thinking about what we give.
Yeah,
just doing cool things. And so I was thinking we should have a Hank and John card. So we've drawn me. Karen's drawn me. I don't know, Karen, do you have any way of showing the screen to the people?
My screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me work on that.
And actually, if we do that, we have something else to show off too, which is the Christmas card.
Oh, but we can't show that off without sharing a screen either.
Oh, well, I can do it on my screen if I can figure out how to share it the first way. Let me bring up that sketch first. You know, it's funny because Hank was supposed to get me reference pictures of him from high school.
Which we all
I completely forgot.
That's okay, because you know what? There's actually a whole Tumblr devoted to pictures of you and John when you're younger.
Oh, God.
And equal parts happy to find good reference and a little creeped out by that. I was like, this is so strange. So yeah, that happened.
Laminator card, by the way. This is cat being laminated. We should include as many cats as possible, really.
Yeah. Well,
we have at least 2.
all right, let me figure out how. I just saw somewhere share screen. Screen share. All right, let me know if this works.
Something happened. So I think that I've made that so now you are looking at this. But there I am. I hope. Karen's drawing with me with the kitty dragon and my guitar.
Yeah.
My guitar is kind of tiny. Or I am
no, the guitar needs to be bigger. That's always an issue is I always draw things on different layers.
Right.
So that when I look at it, I can go back and be like, okay, that guitar needs to be a little bigger. But to be honest, I don't have a guitar, so I was like, does it come up to his waist? What is that going to be? You want to give me some reference?
Here, I'll do it for you right now.
Next to you. All right, perfect.
Yeah. So there, that's that high.
Okay, thank you. Awesome. I'll fix that.
Solving problems on the live stream.
I actually might even be able to fix that.
And this is how the process works.
These are all the
Photoshop documents.
If we keep this up, we won't have to do our Skype call this week.
Yeah. We should just do all the Skype calls live. What are we thinking? Why don't we provide that content?
No pressure.
Yeah.
So Karen, do you have the Christmas card?
Oh! Look at that.
We've not announced that. That was supposed to be our Monday announcement, but we haven't done it yet. So.
That size?
Yeah. That's our sized.
All right.
That was better.
Okay, so then...
The game has officially been updated.
Everyone is going to be in my files. All right, ready?
Oh, yeah. Look at all your reference file things.
Shit.
Hey! So what we're doing here is, as an add-on, we're going to make available a card that you can send before Christmas. So if you're thinking about giving Wizard School as a Christmas present, it's not going to ship until, what, June? Which is just not anywhere near Christmas. It's just about as far away as you can get. So but if you're thinking about getting a Christmas present, think Wizard School will be good. You'll be able to get this add-on where we will send this card to you before Christmas, so that you can give this card to the person, and they will know that they're getting Wizard School as a Christmas present. And that will launch on Monday?
Maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
We haven't actually discussed what it's going to cost us to do that. So we're going to have to do that before we can figure out what the add-on is going to be.
And this character, this Wizard School character, I don't know anything about her yet.
I don't think you've written her.
I haven't written anything about her yet.
She has a name yet.
Yeah, which is bad considering you're the author.
Well, yeah.
Or it's good.
The thing with the characters were, though, is that all the cards had text, like, to them. But the characters, you guys kind of gave me free reign, for the most part. So it's kind of fun because normally I get to take Hank's ideas and bring them to life. And in this, I kind of brought characters to life, and now Hank is filling in their background and their personalities, which I think is kind of fun.
Yeah, I just kind of look at them and I'm like, what are you like?
What are you
And
like?
speaking of which, we did have a question actually on our Kickstarter, which was we've seen about 9 wizards and most of them are female.
That's
A, why is that? And B, are the rest of them going to be male?
I tend to draw women a lot. That's just kind of my thing. And in doing these characters, I've never done character design before. This was a huge thing for me. So I started off doing what I was comfortable with. I do plan on having an equal amount of girls and boys, men and women. But I started off with the ones that were easiest with me. So actually the one that I did first was this girl here with the blue hair.
Mm-hmm.
Right here. And then this was our Twitter contest winner.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Right here. And then I think I did these 3 next. Or maybe I did Medusa, the Medusa one.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
yeah, there will be equal amounts. My favorite is the mermaid. Definitely.
Your favorite is always the mermaid, Karen.
What?
Your favorite is always the mermaid.
I know.
You draw a lot of mermaids.
I can't help it. I love
But
mermaids.
we've also discussed making non sort of human or even gendered characters as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can't say the rest are going to be male.
Bruce
Because-
wants to know if that's a ghost girl. At the moment, that's not a ghost girl. She's an invisible girl.
She has
She can-
invisibility control problems.
Yeah, she can turn invisible. But the idea of a ghost girl is appealing to me. There are ghost cards. There's the ghost janitor Harvey the ghost janitor,
And the ghost barista.
who is important. Yeah, there's a ghost barista who follows you around, makes you coffee, keeps you engaged in school and fighting monsters. So that I think those are the ghosts.
Yeah,
So far.
I can bring up, I have the barista right here, which I would really like to have one of those.
That would be fabulous.
I haven't drawn Harvey yet, but I think the very first art that I did was his
Which
key.
is keys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the very first one that I did.
Yay.
Yay! And then I have to say this one is my second favorite one because, and I can't remember the text, it was like Jeff. Jeff is all things, but Jeff is no one, and there's no anything to it, but my brother happens to be Jeff, so I drew my brother, so that's Jeff. When he watched how well the Kickstarter did the other, like as he's been watching, he's like, so my face is going to be on one of those cards? It's like, yep.
That is correct. Yeah, the text is Jeff is all things to all people, or Jeff is all things and all people. Jeff can be anyone, but no one can be Jeff.
It's weird.
I was very worried about it too. I like it.
know him. It's very strange.
Yeah, Jeff is a Games with Hank reference.
Oh, see, I did not know that.
It's just what I call all unnamed characters in video games.
Oh, that's even funnier.
Somebody suggests that we should have a Gilbart card. Gilbart is the dragon that lives in my Snapchat. That is not a bad idea.
You have a dragon that lives on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Write that down because we're terrible at remembering these things.
How do I unshare?
Write it down.
Oh, I can unclick on you.
No, I get it.
I have no idea how that looked to the people watching. If they were able to see the screen, I didn't even look.
Yeah, I'm not
But
sure.
it looks like they did.
Okay.
Yeah. So what? So if anybody, what happened to Games with Hank is a mistake I've made by mentioning it. I don't have time to play video games anymore. That's what happened to Games with Hank.
Yeah, now we have.
The people are also having requests for Butt Fartman. I would like to ask the audience what 2 animals they would like to see mashed up in Wizard School, and keep in mind that it's not just how this animal is going to look; it's what you're going to call it. So it's good to find 2 animals that you can mash their names together really effectively. So if you have any ideas for mashing up animals into one, like the dock skunk or the scorpelican, please let me know.
Elephant.
The pelican is a bit of a stretch, but it works wonderfully once you're used to it.
Oh yeah, that seems odd to you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it works, but it was surprising the first time I saw it. I did not expect those two animals to be combined.
Well, I mean, the fact the word feels better than, and like once, yeah, I feel like the weirder it is, the better. And Karen apparently can draw anything.
Yeah, it was one of those things where
Go that far.
it's one of those things where it's like it seems weird. The animals don't go together, but we have Karen. So not our problem any longer.
I like the idea of a cataphant.
I like the giraffe and the elephant.
Giraffephant?
Yeah.
Giraffephant would be amazing.
Isn't that just like a brontosaurus?
Oh, right.
No, but with spots.
With spots.
Yeah.
We don't know they didn't have spots.
One of my favorite ones was the duocorn too.
Yeah, the duocorn is great.
Because he said he was like very majestic but a little dopey, and that was a challenge to have both of those things. So he has the flowy white hair, but his eyes are all kind of.
Yeah. I love the duocorn. That's a magical friend, right?
That was a fun one. Donkey. Velocirat.
Velocirat? Oh God! Is somebody writing these down?
No, let me get my.
I mean, we can't have the whole deck just be mashup animals.
That would be a great expansion, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be an expansion.
Yeah. Puppy Giraffephant. Labradonkey. That sounds like something I've heard of. I guess there's Labradoodles now, but a Labradonkey would be good.
Yes. I like. I mean, this one hasn't gone out yet, but I just finished sketching. I finished sketching the well-dressed owl. That was.
Oh, I like that one.
I am excited. It's the coolest thing about Wizard School so far. Aside from all of our amazing support on Kickstarter, which is astounding and beautiful, it's just is having an idea and then Karen just throws back a thing and it like exists and it's pretty. Like, that's not supposed to happen.
I have to say though, again, because I get a lot of people who watch me draw at conventions or ask me on my page, they're like, "How do you make it look so easy?" And in the first couple weeks when I started going through all these cards, there was a lot of panic attacks and anxiety and like pacing around my house being like, I don't know how to do this. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. And I've definitely gotten into a groove. Mm-hmm. But it took 20 years to make it look kind of easy. But man, I was like, what have I done? I told Hank I could do this and I don't think I can. Oh my God. So I'm glad
now that you've made it. You've definitely shown us that it's possible. Here's the duocorn. I found it.
Hey, dopey but majestic. My son likes to call that one the derpy corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A magical beast with great purity of spirit, also a little dopey.
Yeah, that was fun. I was like, okay, that's good. Two opposite things. How do you show that?
It is also one of the most powerful cards in the game.
It's a super powerful card. But yeah.
It's an awesome character.
You can add 3 of any magical type to the current attack. Yeah.
Pretty much it makes you win.
So I'm gonna write down some of people's ideas. While Eric, you tell me how you were like because I kind of was like, here's the story I want this game to tell, and then you were like, okay, here's how this game's going to function practically. How do you even start that?
Well, I mean, it's a lot like, I guess, Karen, you do it for a really long number of years and then suddenly just looks a little easier. But I mean, honestly, you start with kind of nothing's new. So anyone who saw your gameplay video on it recognizes elements of Munchkin, which is, awesome game, a classic, but is also not cooperative. Isn't about wizards, which was a tragic, not solely about wizards. And it was only just numbers instead of symbols and stuff. So we went from there. And obviously you and I have gone back and forth a lot about just how we wanted this game to play.
Right.
But I mean, it was always the cooperative was at the heart of it, because that is something that is more and more just sort of becoming popular. People like playing with their friends instead of against their friends. So yeah, it's taking Munchkin, changing it completely, making it cooperative. And yeah, I mean that was sort of the genesis of it, and going from there. And hopefully, hopefully we achieved any small chunk of success that Munchkin has.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to have my goal to be Munchkin but different in the end.
No.
I do. Yeah, I mean, I have already been, I am already so very pleased with the success the game has already had. It does terrify me a certain amount. I don't know if everybody feels this way in the room.
Yep.
And also everybody who does a Kickstarter like this, but like once you've got a lot of people backing you, we've got $310,000 backed on the project now. It's just you really want to do a good,
Yeah, I remember it clearly. I think it was the morning of the second day, and I get an email from Hank that just says, "Oh my God, this has to be done amazingly now. Look at all these people." And I was like, in my head, I was like, okay, yeah, no, we always want to do it amazingly.
Yeah.
But the emotional me had just been like laying on the floor for half an hour, staring at the ceiling, being like, "Oh my God, this has to be done amazingly now." So I couldn't really hold it against you, but yeah, I mean, the pressure mounts as that number grows bigger, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, it's gonna already the game is fun to play. Like I'm not too worried about that, but I am. Like I don't know. I know I enjoy it, so we have to. We'll have time to play test it and get more beta testers who aren't you to have time with the game, of course. But
exactly.
It's scary.
Hank always comes to me and is like, I think you have like professional testers who know what they're doing, because when I play the game, this or this seems weird. And I'm like, you know what? We need that. We need not just people who've made games before testing this thing.
Yeah. My group of friends, they play a lot of Arkham, and so they're like, there aren't enough rules. We need more rules and card types and like how does I need to know the more of the function and the structure of the game, and I'm like, you need to back up. And it's like, okay.
It's actually my absolute favorite rule in the game is if there's no rule about it, the players get to decide.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that the players will decide 100% in their favor. So I'm like, okay, if I was going to write a rule that was 100% in the players' favor in this regard, why write it? Just be like, you guys can decide. If you want to make it harder for yourself, you can decide that. But it really goes hand in hand with a cooperative game. Everything's decided as the group.
Right, and like it's like nothing that's going to break the game, nothing that's going to make it, not function. So
for example, it'll just say like a monster, one wizard must discard a card. It doesn't say which one.
Right.
The wizards just decide.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you don't need to build a bunch of infrastructure around this.
Yeah.
There are a lot of crazy animals in this chat right now.
I really am being tortured that I can't see this chat.
I really like the squirreligator. Something sort of pleasant about the word squirreligator.
I like the koala bear, grizzly bear-sized koala.
Oh my God, that's terrifying. I don't know how you do that.
Right?
You have to have like a person next to it.
Yeah.
Have you already figured out, mentally envisioned the squirreligator, Karen?
Oh yeah, well I have. It has a really great tail.
It's got a fluffy tail. Yeah. Yeah. Well, because you take the best parts or the most crazy fun parts of both animals.
Yeah, this person suggests a beaver duck, and then realizes that in fact that already exists, and it's a platypus.
That's true.
They really are beaver ducks. I also have right here. I was meant to show this off ages ago. The wand that is part of the thing that no longer is available because we sold all of them. Sorry. But this is a hand milled wand from who's doing this, Eric?
I don't want to say because we don't have it nailed down quite yet. But no, I mean I have wands sourced, but there's 2 options, so I don't want to pitch them and give them all the credit.
We haven't. They're still bidding for our business.
Pretty much.
But I have a number of wands. And this is from the Wizarding World. This one here. It's very nice and sturdy. It's not made of wood. It's made of some kind of resin, so it feels very hefty. But this one is cooler looking for sure.
Yeah, the ones we'll get are going to be all handmade like that, so they're not consistent. They won't all look like that. They'll all be unique.
Paint that. See, I see that, and I want to paint it.
And they're all hardwood. So.
I like that. Like it isn't like it's got a definite like curve to it. Like it does.
Yeah.
It's not straight.
Yeah. And I'm like, wow, that makes it feel really handmade.
That's no Disney wand.
That's no Disney wand.
But yeah, we kind of skipped over it, but the box is from At Its Hollow, and they do a bunch of stuff. Like, they have all sorts of, I don't know, like they have things. Like I even have a case from them that's like this big.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
So they do all sorts of fun stuff, but they're custom making boxes that are going to have like, I don't know if you can see this on here, but the top of the box is going to have Wizard School or WS on it.
Yeah.
So, and these are samples we're playing with.
It's fun to try and make the coolest thing that we can.
Whale poodle.
Oh man. People are still suggesting that. John, so I'm definitely going to be a human. What if John was a centaur?
John is a centaur.
Like, there's no reason why he can't be a centaur.
You know, pretty much all his videos are from the chest up, too, so...
You don't know.
We don't know.
Who knows?
Are you trying to tell us something, or are you... Is this something we should know about that?
I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of humans in Wizard School, and maybe there should be more species diversity. We've got a Medusa, got a mermaid, and then humans.
Yes, I still think that one of our students needs to just be like tentacles coming out of things. Like it's gigantic. It's like underneath the school.
Again, this is what happens, and then in my head I'm like, how do I draw that?
Well,
Yes.
I have already written in that Che, the nerdy looking one, has a pet tentacle.
Yes, it's coming out of his backpack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I can't help it. I put tentacles everywhere too. It's the mermaid thing too. I'm always like, sorry guys, there's more tentacles.
They're really fun to draw.
All this fun. You never know what's. I like it because you don't know exactly what the beast is that's going to be attached to them.
Yeah.
So.
I like the idea that Che's tentacle is just a tentacle. Like it just.
That's all it is a pet tentacle.
Yeah. Has no
You know,
face and mouth.
All over the internet tomorrow that John Green is a centaur, right?
Well, do we know? Does anybody know for sure?
Can John have green skin? I was actually thinking that. I was like, John, somebody just said that. I was like, well, I mean, that would be funny.
Yeah, John Green, the green-skinned centaur.
Yeah. Huh.
There are also a bunch of potential Wizard or NerdCon stories references that we could work in. I doubt anyone here was at NerdCon because it wasn't a huge conference, but there were a number of great moments that we could include. I hadn't considered including before, but we totally should. Have we ever played Super Fight in the audience? You guys played Super Fight? You must have, Eric. You're a professional game designer.
Yeah.
The idea of Super Fight is that you have a card that is like a thing, and then you have an attribute of that thing, and then you try and build your most powerful fighter, and then you fight with the other people who are playing. So it might be like Batman, but a giant robot. And so you've got giant robot Batman, and then fighting against one of the things was the Illuminati, but made of guacamole. And there's just something pleasant about the idea of this sort of like all-encompassing, society-manipulating bunch of avocado that just permeates culture. If it's gonna be anything, it'd be nice if it was guacamole. So the people got very excited about guacanati, the Illuminati made of guacamole, and we should probably include a guacanati.
That's kind of cool, the Illuminati symbol, but with somehow to guacamole, something
made out of guacamole. I'm basically just trying to make something that's super hard for Karen to draw.
Oh, that's unusual of you to do. I'm not thinking. What are the cutie marks for My Little Pony? What if he had the little cutie marks on?
Yeah. On their butts.
Yeah. Well, that would be on John's. He would have his little book OK thing as a cutie mark.
Or you could have like a Nerd Fighter logo.
Oh, yeah.
But I like the book clouds, like the Tenuous clouds.
You do realize that also that the Hank art we saw is upperclassmen.
Right.
Yes.
So what did he look like 3 years previous?
Well, apparently there's a Tumblr that's going to let me know.
Yeah.
Some really good pictures on there, by the way.
You're not trying to make me not a human, though, right, Eric? Because
I'm just saying it could happen.
Well, maybe you have some sort of growth ability, so that 3 years ago you were a tiny little.
Yeah, maybe it's like some kind of metamorphosis.
Or you were like chemistry, like somebody put a bunch of things into a little chemical thing and grew you.
Yeah, or you were
a
like
science experiment.
Put me in warm water.
Yes.
You were like the toga pea. So you're in an egg.
I don't know how to draw that. Okay.
Or this isn't even my final form.
Oh.
And, I started out and I was like a tiny little Hank Green fairy, like a
the green fairy.
and then I metamorphosed into a human-like thing.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have anybody who has wings yet.
It's true.
No, I was thinking about that actually. Fairy wings or dragon wings or feathery wings or.
Feathery wings sound hard to draw.
No, not too bad.
Don't tuck her out of things, Hank.
It wouldn't be too bad. We also, some people are suggesting too, we haven't talked about whether or not there's going to be, and I don't know where we fell on that, like professors, or somebody just suggested a little way back that I should be the art teacher, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, I forgot.
I used to be an art teacher.
Game.
Karen should be in the game.
Karen's not going to be in the game.
Oh yeah, what not?
All right.
They're up now. I'm relaxing, you guys.
If Karen's going to be in the game, Hank has to draw me.
I'm actually pretty excited because my
you
chat
did not
finally
even
popped
make
up.
that bargain. I will totally draw you.
Yep. That's it.
Done.
Done. What? You don't have to do it right now.
We're out here.
Good job. We just made the game worse.
No, it's better.
All right. So far, so good. What do you start with, Karen? What should I start with?
Eyes. I usually start with the face.
Okay. Well, I've made a mistake then.
You know you have to mail this to me so that I can sell it on eBay, right?
Okay. It's on the back of the video game high school script.
All right, that sounds good.
This is from
another random. Hey Hank, another random fact that people don't know about us is that, well, they know about you that you have a Greyhound, but I'm also a Greyhound owner, and you've never met mine.
No, where is it? Show me. Pick it up. Come on. Well, move. No, don't pick it up. But they're big dogs. Just move your webcam. Oh no!
This is Dakota. Dakota the Greyhound.
Oh, how old is your dog?
She is about 9.5.
Okay. Lemon's like 11, and she's got that same white face.
Yeah, the black ones really show off the white face.
Yeah. Oh, good dog. Good dog. Oh, you so good. Do you have really stinky farts?
She used to,
Oh.
but
You fixed that? How did you fix it? Help me.
Seaweed.
You say seaweed?
Seaweed.
So,
I can't
are you
explain
saying that because you're obsessed with plants, ocean plants? Because
Yeah, that's what all that is. I just feed her the seaweed from my tanks. No, it helps their digestion.
Okay, I'm gonna get some seaweed.
But no, truly, they are stinky dogs.
Oh man, we came home from a birthday party just like an hour ago, and like the whole house, upstairs and down. Karen, look at me. I'm drawing you.
Oh my god.
Your eyeballs.
This is not uncomfortable at all.
We will post this picture. We will post this drawing on tomorrow's update.
Mm-hmm.
So the good news is that one of your eyes is way bigger than the other.
It's kind of like the duocorn, right?
Yeah, you're a little dopey.
I'm a little dopey. That seems about accurate.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I've made an awful series of mistakes. What on earth? How do you draw things?
Practice. Practice.
Oh,
practice. And are you using a pencil or are you starting with a Sharpie? Because all right.
It's a
I thought you
pencil.
were starting with a Sharpie.
Okay. All right. So the good news is you look like a monkey.
I can see that. Did you add the purple hair though? You got to do the purple hair.
Nope. I'm just gonna sign this and call it done. All right, everybody. So. Yeah, good. Good.
Not the worst I've seen.
Yeah, but is it the worst you've seen from an adult? Though.
Do you want to know an interesting tidbit about adults and drawing and things like that? Because I used to teach kindergarten through 5th grade art, and kindergartners will just draw because they just love to draw and they don't care what it looks like. And as they get older, they start to freak out. 4th graders like, this doesn't look right, this looks wrong. And so most people stop learning how to draw around 4th or 5th grade because they think it has to be perfect. And when they see that it's not going to be perfect because art isn't perfect, they stop. So most adults draw at that level. So your drawing kind of looks like a 5th grader, which is not a bad thing. That's where most adults stop drawing. It was always my job as an art teacher to try to get them out of that mindset that art doesn't have to be perfect.
Karen, get me out of that mindset. Help me.
Okay, after we finish the game. Okay.
Why isn't there an art school with Karen perk?
No, God.
So
I have to draw.
I do. Somebody has also suggested that you have the Goth version of me. I don't know if you found the Goth picture. I have
nope, I need that right now. Someone
have
send that to me right now.
Well, it's not hard to find.
I mean, I could probably draw it myself, and that would be fun too.
Yeah. Oh man, it's embarrassing. That's deeply.
What's the backstory on that?
I went through a goth phase. What do you mean? What's the backstory on that?
I wasn't sure if it was a phase or just a picture or what.
Well, no, it was more of a phase. So I'm screen sharing now.
I did see that. I did see that.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really tell how much makeup I have on, but
I think we can.
Okay. Good. Well, good then. I'm gonna stop screen sharing
now. I could goth you
now.
up a little bit more than that.
What?
I could goth you up a little bit more than that.
Yeah, please do.
That would be fun.
I'm pretty sure Hank needs a fishnet shirt.
I never wore fishnet shirts. I did run out of gas one time, and I was wearing goth makeup, and my mom had to come pick us up. And she didn't know about the goth thing yet, and so I frantically tried to eat my own lipstick off.
Ugh, that's not very tasty.
No, yeah, but you can't eat your own eyeliner off. It's just not gonna happen.
Really?
Basically, what I should have done was just lit my car on fire and walked home. That would have been a better solution.
So the young goth Hank Green can have an extraordinarily long tongue
Yeah, for licking off my
to clean up that eye makeup.
Oh God, that's gonna be fun to draw.
like a dragon with leather wings, and a choker necklace.
Is that gonna be your 14-year-old you? That's actually pretty funny. I could do that.
Yeah.
People are going to be a little disappointed when they flip over the card, though. They're like, I'm an upperclassman.
I'm a normal guy.
I'm a normal guy again.
That's definitely a challenge for me, is when we decided to do that, to do the upper and the lower class, to not only now design these characters, but then have to draw them 4 years. I think mostly I was drawing them as, 17 or 18. So now to have to think about how to draw, I've only done one so far. That is definitely a challenge too. This whole game has been very much out of my comfort zone, which is good as an artist, but it's definitely challenging.
Yeah, well, I'm really grateful that when we say things like, so what if we did an upper and lower classmen expansion and you just draw a young version of all of these 10 people you just drew, you were like, yeah. You didn't look panicked at all.
Oh, well, I saved that for off camera. And I call my sister and I'm like, oh my God, you're not going to believe what I just said I would do. I think I can do it, but I'm not sure, but I think I can, but I should be able to. She's like, okay, you have to breathe. Fine. You'll figure it out. But yeah.
So since I got the chat up, I've seen a question a few times about what's in the, and I've got this in the Kickstarter too, but what's in the Hank's Dirty Little Secret expansion?
Mm-hmm.
And I pretty much, the answer is, it's anything that it's either too much of an inside joke, or it's 7 billion anuses.
Yeah,
Or,
I mean, there are a few things that are like there's like a condom joke in Hank's Dirty Little Secrets.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's not being obscene for the sake of being obscene, like you see in some not safe for work. It's just things where we're like, okay, that's fun, but you probably can't put that down in front of an 8-year-old.
Right. And also stuff that came sort of directly out of my past that doesn't. It just like it's more about like something that happened to me than it is about like something that makes sense as part of the game.
Yeah, and then the other thing is the graduation cards, which the game was designed where you go through 4 years. And one thing Hank was like, what if we wanted to play a really quick game where it was like summer camp, and it's only a 20 to 30-minute game instead of a 45-minute game. So I was like, okay, yeah, we can do that. We'll just stick it in your expansion. So it's one graduation card, and it's quicker. It's it's just a different way. So it's like one of those things that it's something Hank really wanted to do. So yeah, stick it in his expansion.
Well, we also said that we were going to do a whole summer school expansion at $300,000, which we now have to do.
Well, no, that's what this is. It's exactly what I was just talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. It's not part of the Dirty Little Secrets.
Well, no, it's there.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not sure if we're on the same page, to be completely honest with you.
We haven't had our Skype call this week.
Are those cards red?
No, these are in sleeves.
Oh, okay.
So
because they're just printouts. Okay.
Yeah, so if you cut those cards, if you cut up cardstock and try and play with it, they just all stick together. It becomes extraordinarily hard. So.
The colors look like they're printed pretty good, though. That makes me.
They did print good. They do look good.
Yeah.
That is some professional Office Max printing.
And did they do the paper cutting for you?
No.
Oh man, that was.
I hand paper cut cards for you, Hank.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think that we might have these as Project for Awesome Perks.
Yeah, I have.
Because we got plenty.
Piles of them.
I've got another bag of them from like the early deck.
So if you need these, I will send them. Send you the rest of my. Actually, I'll probably be sending you about 4 more playtest decks before this thing's over.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, games. I never knew how game development worked. I'm not entirely sure that I do now.
I don't at all.
I might just know how game development works with Eric. But I imagined that there was a lot more science to it. That there was like that you were like, okay, So let's like do the odds of all the interactions and make sure the odds all work out. And I think that if you did it that way, you might come up with a playable game. But it's much, but what we end up doing when we're playtesting is we don't just say like, oh, we need to tweak the odds here and there. We say, it's obviously tweaking the odds and balancing the game is a part of playtesting, but it's also like, what if this rule changed completely? What if this rule wasn't there? What if what if this kind of interaction happened at a different phase of the game, and suddenly. And then also let's throw in a teacher card, because why aren't there any teachers in this school? And it becomes and then also if we're throwing in a teacher card, what function does that serve that we're having trouble with the rest of it? And it feels to me, maybe this is or maybe it's like makes it seem like we don't know what we're doing. But it feels to me like a lot of it is just playing, figuring out what's broken, and then going back, redesigning it, playing it again, redesigning, playing, and that's.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, let me start by saying there's a lot of different types of designers, and yes, there are some that are very numbers oriented that I've worked with that create games, and there's some that are much less numbers oriented, like me, who I'm really focused on what's fun. I mean, I shouldn't say I don't balance and crunch the numbers, because I do, and I kind of keep that behind the scenes a little bit, so it's not freaking me out. but yeah, I mean, there is an art to it and there's a science to it, and I think that my sort of approach is more from the artistic side of game design, whereas other people come from the scientific side. And there's a meeting in the middle of art and science. I've just always found and prefer games that are a little bit more just outside of the pure numbers of it. Mm-hmm. I think that in a lot of ways that when there's a game that's number oriented, when there's an expected result, that it can get a little repetitive or predictable or even dull. I think the really fun moments in games are when something unexpected happens, mm-hmm. And when something is, or either for the worse, or like, oh my god, I can't believe we pulled that out. There's no way we should have pulled that out.
Right.
Yeah. In the back of my head, I'm like, yes, I'm trying to design it so you do pull it out.
Yeah.
But it should feel like it should feel like a real world situation. And I think when I'm designing games, I actually really focus on, there needs to be a full sense of believability. This needs to be creating a picture and a world and a system in which players want to exist for, half an hour, however long. Not just, let's do a really complicated sort of math equation for 45 minutes to come to an answer where it says we win or lose.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I think that once you've done that come from my angle for a really long time, there's a lot of times where you'll throw out something like, hey, this needs to change, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we can just do it this way. And I think from your perspective, you might be a little bit like, he's just throwing crap out there, like design. But no, I mean, a lot of times, when you understand the system and the world and this thing you've created, it just is tweaking one little thing here or there, where for you it's a whole new rule. It's redesigning the game.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, that's sort of the game design philosophy that I bring to the table here.
Well, and thank you for bringing it. I totally didn't know what I was getting myself into. But I have had a blast developing cards, thinking about the world, thinking about the story of the game. I think that stuff is fascinating. I am just always constantly just pleased as punch that when I get new art from Karen, and I'm really enjoying playing the game as it exists now, and I'm looking forward to having looking forward to playing the game, but even more than that, looking forward to like seeing lots of people play the game, and I think enjoy it.
Hopefully.
As a final treat, here is a card that no one has seen yet. It's a Wizard School Sport Tryout. Just we didn't know what sport that was going to be yet.
and chat about it.
Yeah.
Name a sport that a wizard school might be playing.
Yeah.
That is not in someone else's intellectual property.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you all so much for joining us for this little live stream. It's been a treat to share with you some of the goings on of behind the scenes here at DFTBA Games and Wizard School. This is like the core people who are working on it. It's not a ton of people right now. Probably won't be more people in the future either. We have other people who are working on various parts of the game, but I'm really impressed with you, Eric and Karen, and really, really happy that we get to work together. And thank you to all of our Kickstarter backers, because we get to make this game now. If you haven't checked out the Kickstarter, it's at Kickstarter.com. Just search for Wizard School, and there's 7 days left in the Kickstarter, and we still have stuff left. Though I think all of the limited edition stuff is done. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, we still have care packages.
Right. Yeah. Still have some care packages. We have 48 more care packages left of 500. So they are also going fast.
And that's where you get like autographs from Hank and Karen.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cool stuff in there. I'm not entirely sure what it is. There's a patch. There's a sticker. There's a signed poster.
Yeah.
Is there a coloring book too? Or
There's a coloring book.
Well, we're going to do a little mini coloring book.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more than just that. That's going to be somewhere where we sort of explore and expand on this world a little bit. And some of those pages are coloring, and some of them are full color, and there's a little text probably in there.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Thanks for good live stream. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Don't forget to be awesome.
Bye.